Friends, this is the extraordinary story of an extraordinary tiger, Ustad of Ranthambore. His is a sad story, but his is a story that must be told and must be heard. The story of his amazing reign in Ranthambore, which is sadly now over, and his legacy, which will reign in Ranthambore forever.
Rugged Ranthambore, the lost homeland of the tiger in Rajasthan, offers views and vistas that are starkly different from anywhere else in India. With its massive fort overlooking vast forest stretches, Ranthambore has always been a delight for wildlife lovers. It beckons them from all over the world. Its terrain, a mix of impregnable dry, deciduous forest and open bush, has become synonymous with the tiger. It is said that only the really unlucky return from Ranthambore without sighting the majestic animal. There is something rare and unusual about the big cats that inhabit this national park. They don't mind the cameras and will even allow enthusiastic photographers to get up close and personal. This land of the tiger is replete with stories of the imposing animal. One such story is of Ustad, also called Tiger number 24. Ferocious, handsome, dominant and, of late, the most photographed male tiger of Ranthambore. His territory was zone number 1 of the park, and he would take great pride in ruling it. Ustad was born to tigress number 22 in 2005 in the Lahpur area of the national park. He grew up with his 2 brothers, tiger number 23 and tiger number 25. Fearless and adventurous, this majestic beast of Ranthambore had started venturing out of the forest quite frequently. He would often be spotted on the Ranthambore road on the outskirts of the nearby Savai Madhopur town. For an animal that likes to stay clear of humans, this was unusual behavior. But Ustad, it seemed, had lost all fear of humans. Once, his paw got pricked by a thorn and became infected. So he had to be tranquilized and treated. But while the vets were bandaging his wound, the effect of the anesthesia wore off, and Ustad got up with such force that the doctors and attendants fled for their lives. Ustad got up and went into the forest. Some say that encounter with humans in such close proximity left him traumatized and became the foundation for his troubled future relationships with humans. There were times when Ustad would be seen with his partner, the magnificent and beautiful Noor, or Tiger number 39. Those who have followed and filmed him closely have also seen his gentle side. They have seen him as a doting father and a loving, loyal mate. He shared his territory with his 4-year-old Sultan from Noor's first litter. And 2 other male cubs, both 14 months old. Sometimes the entire family would be seen together. But that is now a past memory. Ustad recently grabbed the attention of both the Indian and international media, unfortunately for all the wrong reasons. On the evening of May 8, 2015, this dominant male tiger allegedly mauled forest guard Rampal Saini. Saini was on a routine patrol with 2 other members of the forest team when a tiger attacked and killed him. The incident took place near the Atal Sagar area, barely 100 meters from the main entrance of the national park. The kill has been attributed to Ustad.
यहाँ से चौकी से क्या कुछ यात्री पैदल आ रहे थे, गणेश यात्री, तो बिन्ने बोला कि इधर टाइगर आए हुए हैं, तो हम उसको ट्रैकिंग करने के लिए गए हम। तो रामपाल जी हमारे आगे थे, हम थोड़ा सा पीछे से, मुंदर हमारा थोड़ा सा और पीछे रह गया था। जैसे रोड से उतर कर गया तो एकदम अचानक उसको हमला कर दिया।
The incident has, however, raised an alarm over the increasing episodes of man-animal conflict in the area. Before Saini, Ustad was already accused of having killed 3 humans between 2010 and 2012. In October 2012, Assistant Forest Officer Ghisu Singh was mauled by a tiger. Ghisu had accompanied a group of road laborers who were working on a path in Ustad's territory. He was attacked from behind and grabbed by the neck. The suspect was Ustad. Ustad's first alleged human kill was reported in 2010. The victim was a local villager who had gone to collect firewood. With Saini's death, the count stands at 4.
90% केसेस में टाइगर ह्यूमन को देख के चला जाता है या निकलते वक्त एक स्लैप मारता है या आवाज़ करता है या डराता है या फेक चार्ज करता है। हिस्ट्री देखी जाए तो उसके बिहेवियर से लगता था कि वो उसका जो ह्यूमन फियर था वो ख़त्म हो गया था, और ह्यूमन फियर ख़त्म होने के कारण आदमी यदि उसके पास आता था तो उस पर डायरेक्ट उसको किल करने के लिए अटैक करता था।
Today, Ustad has been branded as a notorious tiger and stands accused of having attacked and killed 4 humans, which is extremely rare. Some have even called him a man-eater, a claim that several wildlife conservationists contest.
Ustad was not a man-eater, it was a man-killer who was spontaneous and who was little aggressive, who did not tolerate the too close of human presence, particularly when you were on foot. So, if we look into all the 4, the victims, tiger was not at fault. It was the victims who had intruded into.
Every death took place in Ustad's territory. But was Ustad really behind every killing? This has been the subject of a heated debate. There have been contradictory statements and several rumors. But while the debate raged on and wildlife enthusiasts campaigned to prevent Ustad from being removed from the forest, a committee called to discuss the matter quietly sealed his fate. On the morning of May 16th, 2015, while Ustad was sauntering in his territory, forest officials tranquilized him. Then they picked the tiger up in a swift and secret operation and transported him 400 kilometers away to the Sajjangarh Biological Park in Udaipur. Ustad's home is now a 1-hectare enclosure, a far cry from the freedom he once enjoyed. His reign in Ranthambore is sadly over.
Initially when it was brought, it didn't had food for a couple of days, but after a couple of days he started eating, and it was shifted in an enclosure, in a off-display enclosure of this newly created biological park.
Ustad's story has another side. The problems confronting Ranthambore are also not over with his relocation. Instead, his removal from the national park has compounded the problems there and raised the question of territorial equations. With Ustad being shifted to the zoo, uncertainty has clouded the fate of his 14-month-old cubs and his oldest born, Sultan. The vacuum created by Ustad's absence is bound to lead to territorial fights in the tiger reserve. And the male tiger, probably tiger number 25 or tiger number 34, which takes over Ustad's territory, might kill these cubs. Noor alone cannot defend her 2 new cubs. As for Sultan, for now he seems to be no match for the other 2 tigers. The odds are set against him, and the possibility that he will be able to defend the territory is bleak. There is a chance that when a male territorial fight breaks out, he and his mother, Noor, might get injured or even killed.
I had already given my fears, which still still are there, that after you have shifted T24 Ustad, Sultan was not powerful enough, and it is not powerful enough. It will not be able to defend the territory because this is a prime territory.
To some, this defense of Ustad might appear unfair, considering that this tiger is believed to have left 4 families bereaved. But there is a reason that several wildlife activists are making a case for Ustad. And no, it is not because of a blind love for tigers. Their arguments are backed by logic and a keen understanding of the tiger's nature. Ustad was merely doing what tigers do naturally, given that humans were intruders in his territory. The road to the famous Ganesh temple inside the Ranthambore National Park passes through Ustad's territory. Every year, lakhs of pilgrims visit the temple, but not once did he attack any pilgrim. In fact, before the May 8 incident, the last human death attributed to him was in 2012. Something must have gone seriously wrong this time to have provoked the tiger to kill. That is, if it was indeed Ustad that killed the forest guard. The killings were more territorial, circumstantial, and instinctive rather than targeted human killings. And now, for the even bigger question, will the man-tiger conflict come to an end with Ustad's removal from Ranthambore? Sadly, no. With the road to the Ganesh temple running through the national park, and with lakhs of pilgrims visiting the temple every year, human intervention or interference cannot be controlled in this area. And hence, any tiger that takes over the majestic Ustad's territory is bound to react to this intrusion. The conflicts are likely to escalate.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In 1794, when the famous English poet William Blake wrote these words, little did he know that one day mortal man would force the tiger out of those very forests of the night, or that man-tiger conflict would become a major international issue.
Ever since man made an appearance on Earth, he has shared a strong bond with its forest and its animals. He has relied on them for his survival, but he has also been responsible for their disappearance. Today, the tiger in India is fighting its last battle for survival. And the odds against this magnificent creature are increasing by the day. But the sword that hangs on its future will not fall on the tiger alone. Experts agree that when and if the tiger fades into history, it will not do so alone. it will pull down with it most of India's wilderness and natural wonders. The tiger is a territorial animal. It needs space to breathe. And we humans must respect the privacy of its habitat. The ominous signs are clearly visible in and around India's protected forests. The man-animal conflict, which has become a fashionable phrase today, unfortunately fails to convey the extent of the damage it is causing to our wildlife. By eating into their habitat, which has also cost them their prey, it is we humans who have brought this conflict upon ourselves and fellow inhabitants of the earth. Human settlements border most of our national parks. Roads run through the parks, some of which, like the Ranthambore National Park and the Sariska Tiger Reserve, also have temples inside. There is a steady stream of pilgrims walking in and out, at times to blaring music. With humans intruding into their territory, animals will come face to face with the very humans they desperately want to avoid. And then a conflict will take place. And somebody will get hurt. And like always, the animal will be blamed. Ranthambore's Ustad, tiger number 24, is the latest victim of this conflict. He is bearing the brunt because he has a history of being in conflict with humans. But the reality is that Ustad, like any other tiger, was only trying to protest his fast shrinking space. Ustad's is a heartbreaking story. With Sultan and Noor and the many supporters from across the world who are petitioning for his freedom, we too will miss Ustad. The committee has sealed his fate. Ustad will have to spend the rest of his life in a cage. The captive environment he has been condemned to is hardly suitable for him to carry out his natural and instinctive behavior. With time, his regal demeanor is bound to undergo a change. Anybody who has been to a zoo would have seen how caged tigers behave. They either sit listlessly, resigned to their fate, or they display abnormal behavior such as pacing to and fro in the cage. This is a sign of stress and anxiety in the animal. Plucked from an environment where he once lived and roamed with Noor and his cubs with royal abandon, the captive Ustad is also staring at a similar desolate future. For the magnificent animal that once ruled his territory freely and fearlessly, this is a tragedy beyond words.
Tigers, like human beings, are generally peace-loving animals. And like human beings, they need their space to love and to live and to breed. How many more times will tigers have to swallow the blame for merely trying to protect that very space?